I 100% can go. Want me to play the entire song or no?
I would like all the students to lead us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed by the Whitehall High School Band under the direction of Stuart Neal. Programs that support veterans, the military community, and their families. Memorial Speaker Brian Liga, intro for 2024 Memorial Day. Our speaker has been on the stage before. He is a current Trempealeau County Council of the American Legion Commander and has recently received accolades for being the 10th District County Commander of the Year. He also serves as the AMVETS Post 1 Vice Commander of Post 1 in Pleasantville, Wisconsin, and is the Judge Advocate of the AMVETS Riders Organization Post 1776 out of Melrose. He is an active member of the Pigeon Falls Lions Club and is a full-time substitute teacher in the Whitehall School District. He retired from the United States Air Force after serving over 27 years. He and his wife, Dana, live in Pigeon Falls. Please welcome Brian Liga.
Well, I always tried to get my good friend Reynolds Topter up here, but I think for the last 5 or 6 years it's been pretty difficult because he's been pretty busy being on TV and on the radio and everywhere else. Thank you, Reynolds. What do you remember about being 17? You might remember your junior prom, the junior prom that just happened a couple weeks ago. How about it, high schoolers? Or you may remember getting your driver's license the year before, and now you're an experienced driver, and it's time to get your beater car, your first car in your life. I remember buying a 1957 Chevy Bel Air around that time, and I still have that car today. But I bet none of you remember the year 17. And I'm not talking about 2017, I'm talking about 1917. Russia was having a revolution. America declared war on Germany. The war was, at that time, same year that Reynolds Topter was born, 1917. And he's been a part of our community for a very long time. During the Second World War, Reynolds was a member of the U.S. Merchant Marines, and he is now the oldest living Merchant Marine. He was a baker in the cook's galley and served the entire ship's Merchant Marines. He and his shipmates made 5 trips back and forth across the Atlantic Ocean. They were responsible for delivering cargo across the Atlantic and delivering cargo to the Allied forces that were fighting in Europe. During the war, more than 9,000 merchant marines lost their lives while transporting supplies to reinforce overseas, which was a higher proportion than those killed in any military branch during World War II. Yet, it took our government 43 years after World War II to give the merchant marines a veteran status. After his service to his country, Reynolds served the community in several different ways. He was a charter member of the Pigeon Falls Lions Club in 1960. He's been a Legionnaire for 31 years. He was also in real estate and owned his own general store here in Pigeon Falls, and I believe I shopped at it once or twice. He's also an avid golfer for more years than we have been alive. I'm sure of it. He spent many years with his wife and teacher, Dorothea. She may have been one of your teachers. She taught right here at Pigeon Falls Elementary. They raised 2 children, Julie and Bud, and have many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He has done many things over the year, and now he will experience one more thing, one more event. He was asked to help celebrate the 80th anniversary of D-Day. He and around 70 other World War II veterans will take another trip of a lifetime to Normandy, France, in the area. Do you realize that most of the veterans in World War II are probably over 95 years old? Again, I think Reynolds is probably the oldest veteran going on this trip. Stanley Johnson, I talked to him. He's from Pigeon Falls, you know. And he asked Reynolds, well, who is escorting you on such a long trip? Reynolds had stated, oh, it was my son, Bud. He was going with me. Stanley didn't think that was a good idea. He said, bringing your son over on such a long trip, that would be bad. Can you imagine your son running up and down the aisle of the plane and causing all that trouble? He didn't think it was worth it. I remember my time in England. My family and I were there from 2005 to 2009. We did a lot of traveling around that small island. I remember hearing from the locals that during World War II, the Germans were bombing England quite often. This was also the staging area for the D-Day invasion. One of my friends from England told me that during the war, when he was around 9 or 10, he could remember all kinds of jeeps and deuce and a halves and things rolling in and bringing soldiers to our little town in West Row, England, where we lived. They were lined up on every crooked street they could find, and if you've ever been to England, you'll find a lot of crooked streets. Anyway, there was hundreds or maybe thousands of soldiers staying there for a week, maybe more. You know how the military is, and still is. We had a saying, hurry up and wait, and I'm sure they did. He told me the soldiers that were there were really kind, and they gave the school children some of their rations and some candy. The soldiers played a little baseball. I'm sure they gambled. And they slept a lot, and they did whatever they could to keep busy. Then, after they had been there for a week or so, my friend woke up, and just like that, they were gone. Must have been a day or two before the invasion. D-Day happened on 6 June 1944. The operation brought together the land, air, and sea forces of the Allied armies, what became known as the largest amphibious invasion in the military history. The operation, given the code name Overlord, delivered 5 naval assault divisions to the beaches of Normandy, France. If you go to the east of England on a sunny day, and remember, if you're going to England, the sunny days last maybe about 2 weeks. You can barely see the coast of France without the help of binoculars. This is how close England is to France. This is where the invasion of France took place. They hit the beaches codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. Here's the D-Day by the numbers, and these are big numbers. 6,939 ships delivered or protected 156,000 Allied troops. They were protected by 11,590 aircraft. The country that were mainly involved were 73,000 American troops, 61,700 British troops, and 21,400 Canadian troops. And on the backside, the French resistance fighters were also helping with the invasion. According to the Warfare History Network, the first U.S. Army accounting for the first 24 hours in Normandy tabulated 1,465 killed, 1,928 missing, and 6,603 wounded. The after-action report of the U.S. 7th Corps, ending in 1 July, showed 22,119 casualties, including 2,811 killed, 5,665 missing, 79 prisoners, and 13,564 wounded, including paratroopers. Reynolds has also become so famous that now he has a professional photographer. Her name is Valerie Jardine, and her project, called 1 Century, lets the centurions do the talking about their life. She takes their pictures and she lets them tell their stories by posting them on the computer apps for people to see. To top that off, Valerie's family is from Normandy. Her grandparents lived in Normandy area during World War II, and their house was commandeered by German forces. I believe her mother and father were around 7 or 8 years old when the war started. The times there, as you can imagine, were really tough. After the invasion, their house was destroyed by war, but they rebuilt, and she still has a house right on the beach of Normandy so that she can go back from time to time and visit her family. Reynolds and Bud will be departing on 30 May for their trip to the 80th anniversary of D-Day and returning on 8 June. So, if you see them around next time in the next day or two, wish them good luck, and when they get back, hope to hear their stories. And finally, from our great Pigeon Falls philosopher, Reynolds, and his famous saying, have a nice day, unless you have other plans. Thank you.
List of veterans interred in the cemeteries in Pigeon Falls. All gave some gave all. From the Civil War, Hans Fremsted, John K. Lundy. From World War I, Nelbert Anderson, Richard Back, Palmer Christensen, Fred Christofferson, Oscar Nelson Dahl, Hans Eid, Clarence Ingebretson, Albert Eriksson, Nils Eriksson, Ferdinand Estensen, Manley Evenson, Paul Evenson, Oswald Fremsted, Adolf Hagen, Theodore Hagen, Clarence Huff, Magnus Isaacson, George Iverson, Louis Jacobson, Benny Johnson, Edwin Johnson, Cornelius Casted, Robert C. Casted, Richard Klumstein, Earl Larson, Louis Larson, Martin Larson, Gustav Lundberg, Harry Melby, Mandus Michelson, Bernard Moe, Martin Moen, George Neprud, Nels Neisef, George O'Brien, Henry Paulson, Thomas Scoyen, Oscar Sletland, Sigvald Stahlheim, Harold Svein, Norman Thompson, Orpheus Torgerson, Harold Onrud, from World War II, Harold Onrud, Curtis Anderson, Donald Anderson, Leonard Anderson, Vernon Barney Anderson, Thomas Bacon, Hensel Berge, Edgar Borison, Odell Borison, Alfred Bredbegin, Bjorn Christofferson, Roland Jack Cleveland, Maurice Dahl, Elvin Evenson, Adolf Fremsted, Ernest Fremsted, Sylvester Fremsted, Thurman Fremsted, Albert Gilbertson, Arthur Gilbertson, Ralph Gilbertson, Carl Hagen, Adolf Hollingsted, Mamie Hollingsted, Adela Hansen, Erling G. Hansen, Robert Hansen, Wally Hansen, Irvin Harnish, Roy Harnish, Dale John Hine, Frederick Huff, John Hoganson, Ames Holan, Clifford Iverson, John Iverson, Henry Jacobson Jr., Hensel Jacobson, Joseph Johnson, Conrad Johnson, Oliver Johnson, Conrad Johnston, Norman Koss, Robert Casted, Theron Knudsen, Truman Coxling, Arthur Larson, Donald Larson, Wallace Docky Larson, Sigurd Lucken, Gordon Lunsted, Charles Martin, William Marquette, Melvin Melby, William Miles, James Miller, Clark Moe, Mrs. Clark Leona Moe, Hillman Nelson, Olger Neprud, Oscar Neprud, Basil Olson, Raymond Olson, Irvin Peterson, Ernest Rokestad, Maynard Roloffs, Oliver Sagan, Arden Scottle, James Scottle, Kenneth Smith, Paul Spencer, Ray Stahlheim, Lee Bill Van Slyke, Harold Tomter, Donald Trotter, Olin Winston. From the Korean War, Roger Amundsen, Wayne Amundsen, Richard Christensen, Conrad Dahl, Vernon Ide, Hensel Fremsted, Lloyd Giese, Kenneth Hannibald, Amos Hovey, Ronald Johnston, Clark Honer, Floyd Coxling, Wallen Melby, Clark Moe, Donald Nygaard, Donald Neprud, Donald W. O'Brien, Donald Putes. From the Vietnam War, Alfred Ackley, Arn Anderson, Perry Back, Michael Ingevald, Dale Hangarter, Mrs. Ralph Beverly Ringland, Rodney Stagg, Wallace Thorson, Donald Simonson, Jerome Hansen, Wayne Meyer, Kenneth Neprud, Lon Olson, Wayne Paulson, William Smedberg, Douglas Trotter, David C. Warner. Cold War era service, Michael Dwyer, Elvin Hassard, Roger Hannibal, Jerry Holston, Newland Johnson, Martin Larson, John Neprud, David Olson, George Sletland, Frederick Stagg, Kenneth Stagg, Torvald Tolson, and Angela Birkin.
Please stand for the rifle salute and taps.
Squad leader, please take charge of the detail. And salute. Taps was played by Whitehall High School sophomore Deacon Steig. Now Pastor Greg Ofsdahl. We go forth now into the world in peace, dedicated to your service, O Lord. We hold fast to that which is good, render to no person evil for evil, strengthening the faint-hearted, supporting the weak, helping the needy and the afflicted, and honoring all people. We love and serve the Lord, rejoicing in the power of His Spirit. And may God's blessing be upon us and remain with us, now and always. Amen. As we go through the rest of the weekend, I want you to think about the veterans who have served our great nation and think about the ones we have lost. Also think about the disabled veterans that have lost a lot also. Finally, we should not honor that they died, but that they lived, preserving our freedoms for our great nation. I like to say I spent a little over 20 years in the U.S. Navy active service. Approximately 12 years were spent out on the ocean, Indian Ocean, through the Suez Canal 6 times, Panama Canal, North Atlantic, Mediterranean, Caribbean, and I can understand where Reynolds is, where we've seen a lot of merchant mariner ships out there, and right now think about the battle groups, the carrier battle groups that are out there, the young soldiers, the young sailors, and keep them in your thoughts. Thank you for attending the Pigeon Falls Memorial Day program. This concludes our ceremony. Please stay for the presentation of the Pigeon Falls Lions Club Community Awards.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel Risberg, and I'm part of the Lions Club here in Pigeon Falls. Thank you for everybody that was involved this morning in setting this up and participating in the program. We really appreciate the band and the music, so thank you for being here again this year. With growing up in Pigeon Falls, I always feel this is really significant weekend for us. Not only do we celebrate as a community, but celebrating our veterans as well. So Memorial Day has really been ingrained in me, as I'm sure for many of you that have ties or grew up in this community too. So thank you for attending and being part of our program. Thank you to Brian Liga. He's the one that's ensuring that we have a program every year and we have our speakers and participation. So thank you, Brian. this weekend is one of our major fundraisers for the year, as well as bringing our community together. If you look at our shelter, we have a lot of things that we do during the year, and they're all posted on there. Please take a moment and see everything that we do, so that you know when you donate and help support us, this is where those monies are going. It makes a big impact in our community, and we're very happy to have the support from everybody that we do. Our Lions Club has a lot of members in a lot of different age groups, so I thank you. Can you please stand up, raise your hand if you're a Lions Club member here today working? I see several of you scattered around. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this. But it takes more than us. It takes people from the community too, and so we have just as many people, if not more, that are not Lions Clubs that step up to the plate to help us make this be a successful weekend, as well as other fundraisers we do. So again, thank you all for being part of it. And if you want to be a Lions Club member, we're always welcoming new ones. So get a hold of anybody on this stage and we'll help you get that started. To start out our program today, we have a check for WEA, Whitehall Area Youth Association. So I think there's a few people on the board that are here. I think we have Tim and Nick for sure. If there's anybody I'm missing that I didn't see, if you come forward. We have a brat feed the first weekend in May and have used those proceeds to donate towards WEA. In the past few years, we've been able to have them start out their season by handing out their jerseys and have a little parade in some of the kickoff games to help with that. So we're really proud to help sponsor and partner with them. This year, of course, it rained, just like yesterday, so we had to cancel a lot of things. So sadly, the check's not as big this year, but we'd like to present it to them anyway. Thank you. And then at this time, I'll turn it over to Fred Ackley to talk about our most recent successful project.
Thank you. For years, we had a sandbox back behind the scoreboard there, and it was about a 2x12 with about 10 feet, and basically had a bunch of dirt in it, and it actually turned into a bigger turned into a cat box more than anything else. So this year we conceived the idea that we need a better sandbox. Pleasantville has a sandbox kind of behind their backstop. It's about 10 by 10. It's got a roof on it, and they've got wire around it to keep the cats out. And I talked to a member over there and got some information and how much they spent on, which was about $1,500. And I thought, well, we can, Pigeon Falls could do something like that. So Brian's staff agreed to kind of be the chairman of it, and so I gave him the information that I got from Pleasantville, and Brian's sitting right over there. So if you've been following along on Facebook, you know what our sandbox has become. I missed the March meeting. Betsy Peterson took minutes, and we approved to spend over $10,000. And I thought, what in the heck are we building a sandbox that costs over $10,000? So it's about, Brian took the bull by the horns and did a lot of work. It's about 12 by 24. It's got a roof on it. It's got doors on each end. It's got wire mesh around it to keep the cats and the birds out. And it's really turned into quite a project. There's a dinosaur egg dig at 1 o'clock. So if you want to go over there and watch the kids play, there's some toys in there. And really turned out to be a great project for us. And it did come in well under the $10,000 budget. So we're happy with that. And that's where some of your money that you're donating for buying tickets and things here went towards the sandbox. So thank you, and thank you, Brian.
Hi, I'm Carol Hansen. I'm the president of Lions again. 2023-24 Lion of the Year is a very deserving recipient. They have been in Pigeon Falls Lions for 9 years. They were on the fence committee and was instrumental in making that project happen so quickly and efficiently. She is very level-headed and helps us stay focused at officers' meetings and monthly meetings. This person is one of the officers and is very, very efficient at her treasurer's job. Our treasurer's reports are detailed and exceptional. Might help that she works at a bank. She has personally helped me many times with ways to approach situations, how to say or write things the best way. She chairs the scholarship committee. Her organizational skills are second to none. She follows through on delivering checks of our donations and can give me a complete list of donations when I ask. She helps at various other Lions projects such as bingo, cookies with Santa, roadside cleanup, trunk or treat, rod feed, chairs a session for Memorial Day work stand. I am very happy and hopefully we surprised her to present the Lion of the Year to Rachel Reesberg. She's been doing this the last couple of years, but I said, I'd really like to do it this year. So we did it, thank you. Community Service Award. The recipient of the Community Service Award is someone that has been a very active person in our community. He served on the county board for 8 years and the town board for many years. He is active in his church and has been on the church council and was church treasurer. He's a member of the Sons of Norway. He sings with the Stout-Hearted Men. He is a wonderful supporter of the fine arts in the area and a very generous person. He started a scholarship in his parents' names for a student in Whitehall and Blair Taylor. You'll see him at various fundraisers supporting many various causes. He worked in Alaska for many years and retired back to Big Slough, where he took care of his mom until she passed. He is not a Lion, but he helps with many of our projects. He's one of our go-to guys. He's helped with roadside cleanup, taking Christmas decorations down, bingo, sandbox project, food stand, help stock fish in the pond, food pantry distribution, and anything else we might need assistance with. He even helped yesterday with things up at the church. I am proud to name this year's recipient of the Community Service Award to Elton's staff. He said, I hope I don't have to give a speech.
Today we're fortunate enough to be able to present a special Lions Award as well. The Pigeon Falls Lions Club is proud to give this special award to Fred Ackley this year. He has been an active member of Pigeon Falls Lions for over 40 years and as our secretary for over 25, and his knowledge of the Lions is valued and appreciated. He does Lions 101 for new members, and he is our go-to for anything Lions. He is active in every project we do, and he is a member of the Scholarship Golf Tournament and bingo committees and just about anything that you can name. He is our Facebook guru, and he does a great job getting the word out about the Pigeon Falls Lions and everything that we do. He's also been a zone chair for the District Lions and attends district conventions, plus so much more. Fred is involved in his community. He is active in his church in many capacities. He has been the Pigeon Falls Fire Department for over 40 years. He is active in ATV groups and helped raise funds for Toys for Tots in the past. As an active member of the Whitehall Pigeon Rod and Gun Club, he has taught gun safety and many other projects and activities for fundraising. He steps in and helps at many other functions such as school carnival, school concessions, and wherever he is needed. He is a great brother, uncle, and now great uncle. He is most certainly deserving of this honor that the Lions past district governors Jay and Stacy Nethus will present.
Gosh, they had me buffaloed too. When I saw Jay and Stacy were Lion Jay and Lion Stacy were here, they said they were making their rounds at Memorial Day programs, but I certainly didn't expect this, so thank you.
Dear Melvin Jones Fellow, on behalf of Lions Clubs International, congratulations on becoming a Melvin Jones Fellow. The Melvin Jones Fellowship is named for Melvin Jones, the founder of Lions Clubs International. It is largely due to the growth of the fellowship program that LCIF has been able to meet humanitarian needs in communities around the world. Fellowship contributions help to bring medication to prevent river blindness to people like 67-year-old Hilario and her family, or teach children like 12-year-old Stefan to avoid drugs through Lions Quest. Each Melvin Jones Fellowship contribution can restore the site to 167 individuals or provide Lions Quest to youth. LCIF is able to continue and expand programs through the generous support of fellows such as yourself. You should take great pride in knowing you will impact so many lives both in the immediate community and across the globe. As a Melvin Jones Fellow, your name has been added to our listing of all individuals in the program. So during your next visit to International Headquarters, I invite you to visit the LCIF room to see your name on the extensive list. Wear your Melvin Jones Fellowship lapel with pride. It represents your dedication to humanitarian service to the highest degree. Thank you for your continued dedication and support to LCIF. Make a great day. Brian E. Sheehan, Chairperson, Lions Clubs International Foundation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's the end of our program. Thank you very much for being here. We have lots of chicken and food in the stand, so hopefully you'll enjoy the day. We've got some games coming up, and hopefully that sun stays out for us. Thank you.
Go.